Heavyweight boxing, part two. Go on, Mr. Buffer. Um, so, what does they say? Three kings. Let me just go back to that. Who are the three kings in their day in the land of giants? AJ, as I said, um, Tyson Fury, both from England, and the one man from across the pond, 6'7", cruiserweight weight, but heavyweight power. The Bronze Bomber, Bomb Squad, Deontay Wilder. Man, that guy was like scary, like the way Mike Tyson was, but he had seriously one punch knockout power, man. Like very few. I don't know. He might even go down in history as the hardest hitting uh, heavyweight or person in boxing ever. But unfortunately, and because he started late, he never. He became his crutch to some degree. He always said his power, man. He was a decent boxer, but he never honed his skills as much as he could because he knew, like he always said, everybody, they have to be perfect in the ring to to escape being knocked out by him. They have to be perfect for the entire 10, 12 rounds, and he just needed a couple of seconds to get you out of there. He just had to be perfect for a second just to hit that jaw wherever and lights out. So man, I just he's gone through his stuff, and then he's personal things going on with him around the time of the last fight, which was against another giant 6'6" from China, Zhilei Zhang, who's kind of come into his own of late, but he got knocked out by him, and it's because he kind of turned his back also to him, and he seemed like he was, he was not confused, but like, never that's the number one, never turn you, never, be, never turn your back, be defensively responsible, et cetera, and he wasn't, so it cost him. But prior to that, he lost. I'm trying to think in my head. I know Joseph Parker, and I think maybe that's what it was. I don't know if there was one between that. And I think that was his two losses. He had a clean record too up until he fought uh, Tyson Fury. The first fight was amazing. Tyson Fury came back from the dead, and they was a draw, and then they fought again, and it was, I believe, was it a unanimous decision? I believe, yeah. And Tyson Fury, and then third fight, he knocked Wilder out. Wilder was bigger. He looked like a freaking superhero. He was like, like 230. He usually comes in about 215, 220, lean and mean. He was bulked up, Adonis type body, but didn't do work in his favor because he wasn't used to having that type of weight, and it wasn't not what he needed actually. It was more he should have kept. He had that power. He always had that power, but because yes, Tyson Fury, Gypsy King, fights like those gypsy, a little bit of dirty boxing, and also he knows how to use his weight, and he would grind on Deontay Wilder, make him tired, lean his weight into him. He's a good dirty boxing, where Wilder down, and eventually he got him out of there. But Tyson, for every fight that he's had with Wilder, every fight he's had with Fury, he hurt Fury pretty bad too. But Fury has that crazy powers of recovery. So, so those were the three kings, and unfortunately, their time has passed to some degree, and now this new Lions, starring with the main star right now, Daniel Dubois, who, like I said, had his own trials and tribulations he had to go through, and his comeback story, and it's only beginning, and we'll see what happens with Joseph Parker, another person who's had his trials and tribulations and has his comeback story, and so that's an interesting fight coming up in a couple of weeks in February 22nd, 2025. But So, what was I going to say? So, he's one of the new Lions. We'll see what's going to go on with Joseph Parker. Like I said, he came back from a couple of his defeat, both of them, to this guy Joe Joyce, who was supposed to be the next big thing. Like I said, this is a boxing thing. It's crazy now. They're all like 6.5 feet tall, 6'6", or it's like they're almost like basketball players, but massive basketball, like weight wise, like big, bulky basketball players almost. It's like you don't see anybody like really, like back in the day where it was Muhammad Ali, they're like 6'2", 6'3". He was 6'3", and Joe Frazier was considered the giant. And he was not Joe Frazier. He was shorter. George Foreman was considered the giant. He was 6'4", just a little taller than Usyk is now. And so I'm just crazy how these things, it kind of started with Lennox Lewis 6'5", and also the Klitschko brothers, 6'6" and 6'7", I think. And then that's where the giant era of giants came in and taking over. But now it seems like it's going back to some degree to the smaller heavyweights, like 6'2", 6'3". I'd even put 6'4" as smaller heavyweight, believe it or not. With Usyk, with Daniel Dubois 6'5", so he's the shorter of the land of giant, but he's on that brand, the giant size. And then, like I said, Moses Atuma, he's 6'2". Also, they had to fight Zidane Zan, who's 6'6", fighting the guy from Spain, Arbal, something, I forget his name, sorry, but that guy is bad too. I want to see what goes on with him. Who do I think's going to win that one? I think the guy from Spain, or is he German? I think I'm messing that one up. I know a lot of different boxers. That one, I just covered his fights, but I didn't look him up too much in him. He's pretty dangerous dude. I like when he beat Frank Sanchez from Cuba, who's like unbeatable. The Flash, they call him, because he's so fast and had these combos he was doing. And he beat him. He beat him mentally and then physically. He got him out of there. So, Ariel, I think his name is. So that's an interesting one. And then there's Bacoli, who's actually, Martin Bacoli, who just pulled the rug from Jared Anderson, who was like the up-and-coming young guy, 23, I think, 24, killing everybody, but then, he had to step up in competition, and that's kind of what happened. Now, he has to make his comeback, and we got to see what's going to happen with him. Back in the day, I'd love to see Jared Anderson fight Moses Atuma, but now, I don't know, with Jared Anderson's mindset and not seeing how he's, I think, like how he is now, I'll have to wait to see in his next fight. Hopefully he'll come back soon. But Martin Bacoli, he's going to fight F.A. Jagba, who's kind of like a Deontay Wilder type of character. He's 6'6", I think, 6'5.5". But he's got like that one punch knockout power to some degree, but I don't think exactly equal to Wilder. And I always wanted to kind of see those two fight, but how the times have changed. So let's see. So we got Martin Bacoli going against F.A. Jagba. I think Martin Bacoli's going to take that just because I think he's kind of, it's his time more. Feels like it. F.A. Jagba has always been in the outskirts of being one of the top heavyweight contenders. He's like kind of like at the tail end of the list, rankings. I don't know if he's even in the top 10. He might be like 11 or whatever. He might have gone in and out. But man, it's so freaking exciting, man. So interesting, I'd like to see, I think basically almost Usyk should retire soon because he's getting older. He's like 37 years old. But sometimes fighters don't know when to stop, and does it tarnish the record? A little bit, maybe. A little bit. But what I'd like to see maybe with Usyk is, because Triple D came into the ring after Daniel Dubois came in the ring after the Alexander Usyk Tyson Fury fight, and again Usyk won, and then Daniel Dubois awkwardly called him out. But hey, man, you got to do it. It's your play. You got to do what you got to do. Uh, and that's a little mind game too on Joseph Parker, because it's like, you're already passing me by to say you're gonna fight him. But in a way, that's a good play to do, not just because it puts your name in there and shows how much you got confidence and you wanted that fight with Usyk, and Usyk already then that said, hey, for Turkey Al-Shi to make it happen, so that could happen. But also puts in Joseph Parker's head, like, yeah, I am. I am a man that's confident like that and on a tear. It's a scary person to go against. Who do I think will win that fight? I think Triple D is going to take it. It might be interesting beginning, but I just think he's got really good, decent skill set, and he can hit hard, and he's determined. And I think because he was forged in fire with his two losses to Joyce, again, embarrassing losses because they say he quit, but I mean, in a way, he did. He got some eye damage, and it could have been much worse. Live to fight another day, and and then he lost to Usyk, and kind of the same thing. He got Usyk that quote unquote low blow, and I think it was kind of lowish, but it wasn't, it was like maybe like right below, under the navel, and then right above the groin. But that's under the trunk line, and so